What if I told you that a college student who built websites for fun would one day change the way billions of people communicate? His biggest idea started inside a small dorm room at Harvard University. Many people believed his project would never survive. Instead, it became one of the most powerful companies in history. This is the incredible story of Mark Zuckerberg. Hello everyone, and welcome to Universal English. Today, we bring you the inspiring story of one of the most influential entrepreneurs of the modern world. Mark Zuckerberg didn't invent the internet, and he wasn't the first person to create a social networking website. But with vision, determination, and an extraordinary passion for technology, he built a platform that connected billions of people across the globe. His journey was filled with bold decisions, sleepless nights, criticism, lawsuits, and enormous success. Let's travel back to the beginning and discover how a quiet young programmer changed the digital world forever. A curious boy who loved computers. Mark Elliott Zuckerberg was born on May 14, 1984, in White Plains, New York. He grew up in a supportive family that encouraged learning and creativity. His father, Edward Zuckerberg, worked as a dentist, while his mother, Karen, was a psychiatrist. From a very young age, Mark showed an unusual interest in computers. While most children spent hours playing video games, Mark became curious about how those games actually worked. He wanted to understand the code behind them. Instead of simply using technology, he wanted to create it. His parents quickly noticed his talent and hired a private computer tutor to help him learn programming. But the lessons didn't last long. Mark learned so quickly that his teacher later admitted the student was advancing almost as fast as the instructor could teach. Programming soon became more than a hobby. It became a passion. Building his first software. As a teenager, Mark spent countless hours writing computer programs. One of his earliest creations was a messaging program called ZuckNet. His father wanted an easier way for the dental office downstairs to communicate with the family living upstairs. Instead of buying expensive software, Mark built his own. The program allowed messages to be sent instantly between computers. It worked so well that everyone in the office began using it every day. This simple project showed something important. Mark wasn't just writing code. He was solving real-world problems. While still in high school, he continued creating games, educational software, and other computer applications. His talent attracted the attention of major technology companies. Some even offered to buy his software and hire him before he had finished school. But Mark had different plans. He wanted to continue learning. Harvard University. In 2002, Mark entered Harvard University, one of the world's most prestigious schools. He studied psychology and computer science. Although Harvard was famous for its academics, Mark quickly became known for another reason. He was one of the best programmers on campus. Students often asked him for help with technical problems. Whenever Mark had an idea, he immediately began writing code. He believed the best way to learn was by building things. Late at night, while many students were sleeping, Mark could often be found sitting in front of his computer, experimenting with new projects. Little did anyone know that one of those late-night experiments would soon change the internet forever. The project that started everything. During his second year at Harvard, Mark created a website called FaceMesh. The website displayed two student photos side by side and asked visitors to choose which person looked more attractive. Within hours, hundreds of students were visiting the site. The project spread across campus almost instantly. But it also created serious problems. Mark had used student photographs without permission. Harvard administrators quickly shut the website down. Many students criticized him. Others admired his programming skills. For Mark, the experience taught an important lesson. People love connecting online. but they also expected privacy and trust. That lesson would influence his next idea. The birth of Facebook. Only a few months later, Mark started working on a completely different project. This time, his goal wasn't entertainment. He wanted to help students connect with one another. On February 4, 2004, he launched a website called the Facebook. At first, only Harvard students could join. Users created personal profiles, uploaded photos, and connected with classmates. The response was incredible. Within days, thousands of students had registered. Soon, students from other universities wanted access as well. Mark and his small team worked almost non-stop to keep up with the growing demand. None of them imagined just how large the platform would become. A life-changing decision. As Facebook continued growing, Mark faced one of the biggest decisions of his life. Should he remain at Harvard and finish his degree? Or leave university to focus entirely on the rapidly expanding company? It was an enormous risk. Very few people believed a student-run website could become a global business. Friends, investors, and family all had different opinions. Mark knew that opportunities like this rarely came twice. He had a choice that could shape the rest of his life. The decision he made would change not only his future, but the future of the internet itself. Choosing the bigger dream. In 2004, Facebook was growing faster than anyone had expected. Every week, thousands of new students joined the platform. What had started as a small project inside a Harvard dorm room was quickly becoming one of the most talked about websites in America. Mark Zuckerberg realized he had reached a turning point in his life. He could stay at Harvard, finish his degree, and follow a traditional career path. Or he could leave university and dedicate himself completely to Facebook. It was a risky decision. Many people believed social networking was only a temporary trend. Others warned him that leaving one of the world's best universities would be a huge mistake. But Mark trusted his vision. He believed people everywhere wanted a simple way to connect, communicate, and share their lives online. With that belief, he left Harvard and moved with his friends to Palo Alto, California. They rented a small house that became both their home and their office. During the day, they wrote code. At night, they planned the future of Facebook. They worked long hours, often sleeping only a few hours before returning to their computers. Every improvement made the platform more useful, and every new feature attracted even more users. Facing challenges and criticism, success brought new opportunities, but it also brought serious challenges. As Facebook became more popular, legal disputes began to appear. Some former Harvard classmates claimed that Mark had used ideas they had discussed together while creating Facebook. The disagreement led to lawsuits that attracted worldwide media attention. Although the legal issues were eventually settled, they placed enormous pressure on the young entrepreneur. At the same time, Facebook had to compete with other growing social media platforms. Many experts believed larger technology companies would easily defeat this small startup. Instead of giving up, Mark and his team focused on improving their product. They introduced new features, expanded to more countries, and made Facebook available to everyone, not just university students. Millions of people joined. Then millions more. Within only a few years, Facebook had become one of the largest social networking platforms in the world, building a global technology company. As Facebook continued to grow, Mark understood that innovation could never stop. The company invested in new technologies and expanded beyond its original platform. Facebook acquired Instagram in 2012, giving millions of people a new way to share photos and videos. Later, it purchased WhatsApp, connecting billions of users through simple and secure messaging. These decisions transformed Facebook from a single website into one of the world's largest technology companies. In 2021, the company changed its name to Meta, reflecting a broader vision for the future of digital communication, including virtual and augmented reality. Mark believed the next generation of technology would allow people to interact in entirely new ways. Whether that vision succeeds remains to be seen, but it shows his willingness to think beyond today's technology. A legacy beyond wealth. Mark Zuckerberg became one of the youngest self-made billionaires in history. Yet his influence is measured by more than financial success. Facebook changed how families stay connected, how businesses reach customers, and how people share news, ideas, and experiences across the world. At the same time, the company has faced criticism over issues such as user privacy, misinformation, and the impact of social media on society. These debates continue today and remind us that creating technology also brings great responsibility. Mark has publicly acknowledged many of these challenges and has said that building global platforms requires constant learning and improvement. Outside of business, Mark and his wife, Priscilla Chan, launched the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative, supporting education, medical research, and scientific innovation with the goal of helping solve some of humanity's biggest challenges. Mark Zuckerberg's story is not simply about becoming a billionaire. It is the story of a curious young programmer who believed one idea could connect the world. His journey teaches us that success often begins with curiosity, grows through hard work, and survives because of persistence. Whether admired for his innovation or debated for the challenges his company has faced, there is no doubt that Mark Zuckerberg has left a lasting mark on the modern world. His story reminds us that every great achievement begins with a simple idea, and the courage to turn that idea into reality. Thank you for watching this inspiring story on Universal English. If you enjoyed this journey through the life of Mark Zuckerberg, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring biographies, true stories, and unforgettable moments from history. Every successful journey begins with a dream, but only determination turns that dream into reality. Until next time, stay curious, keep learning, and we'll see you in the next story on Universal English.